It's your boy Rod Bridgers, man. Welcome to the New South News, man. This is a new show coming to you guys here on the Hoop State Network. My name is Rod Bridgers. To my left, we got my man Ray Masonette.
Man, I'm here. I'm excited, man. I'm in the studio. So
yeah, man, we're live.
Big time.
Ball is Life.
Ball is Life. Y'all see the logo and stuff, man. Like, we here.
We are here. All right, guys. So the first topic today, we're going to talk about Pender and Laney, the boys basketball team. They both have been ruled ineligible for the playoffs this year for a fight on December the 7th.
Yeah.
It's a tough blow because both teams were really playing well this year. Laney was, I think, 10-3, and I think Pender they were 6-0 in conference play right now.
Yep.
Pender has one of probably the most underrated backcourts in the state in Khalil Marshall and Jawan Carr. So it sucks.
Khalil Marshall. Go ahead.
Remember both of those names.
Man,
those are both kids that can really go. So Ray, you want to tell us a little bit about the story?
Sure. So what I gathered from the article was that they basically got into a scuffle. And it wasn't just like a push shove, benches cleared. I think there was like 7 players on one team, 4 players on another team. I think one of the things that I'm conflicted with, though, is with the teams playing as well as they're playing, should they have been suspended for the playoffs? Part of me is like, yeah, because rules are rules, right? And they clearly stated in the article that the specific rule for North Carolina high school basketball says you cannot get 3 or more players cannot get suspended, or else you will be ineligible for the playoffs. Specifically, like, there's no if, ands, or buts about it. So it's like, was it kind of tough, but at the same time, it's just I'm confused on, being lenient or like, the punishment fits the bill.
One thing I always say, situations like that, to me it's a bit of selfishness. Like, when you have
for who?
For the players that are fighting, because at any point there's no room for fighting in any type of sport, for any reason. So for those few players who did fight, who did decide they want to throw a punch, now you're penalizing the rest of your team for something that you did. So to me that's a part of selfishness. But again, being young, it's a learning experience. You learn and grow from it. It sucks that 2 really good teams won't be able to participate, to have a chance to play for a state championship. But hopefully it's a learning experience for both teams and they can move forward from it.
One of the things I always think about in situations like this is what could have happened to prevent it, right? Like, Is that a coaching thing? Is that a player thing? I completely agree with you. Like, it's 100% selfish from the player.
Could be a referee thing. When you see a game start to get a little chippy, hey, let's pull the team aside, talk to both coaches, and hey, these guys are getting a little animated here. Let's kind of try to get the game under wraps.
Right. So we want to know what y'all think. Did the punishment fit the crime? If not, let us know. Make sure y'all type down in the comments below. All right, so we're gonna jump into the next topic, right? North Carolina plays home to 2 of the leading scorers in Division I and Division II basketball. Division I in Chris Clemens, in Division II, Amir Hinton.
Chris Clemens right now is currently averaging 29.2 points per game. For Campbell's, I think 2-1 in conference play, 9-8 overall. Amir Hinton is averaging 31.9 points per game for Shaw out of the CIAA. Bronco Pride.
Golden Bulls. Go ahead.
Amir is a 6'5" guard from Pennsylvania. It seems like Shaw gets those 6'5" guards from Pennsylvania. It's almost like a Flip Murray type thing all over again. For those who know, Flip Murray also is from Philadelphia. He went to Shaw University. Literally one of the best players I've ever seen.
Stone cold. I did not have the privilege of seeing him, so I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, I got to see Flip a few times in college, and he was amazing. But Amir was cut from the same cloth, scores from all 3 levels. He's got NBA guys at his game, so word on the street is this may be his last year playing in college. So if you're in Raleigh, you need to get on down to Shaw University and catch this guy.
So I got a question for you, just from a perspective standpoint. Division II player, averaging 31 points a game. Does he get a fair shake, just like if he was doing this on a Division I level, or it'll be a little bit more difficult to get to that NBA level?
Well, for a D2 guy, the first question is always going to come up: can he play? Can he do this against D1 guys? The answer for that question is 100% absolutely yes for him. Any kid is averaging 32 points a game on any level of basketball. I'm not saying that you're an automatic NBA lock, but when you have the size and the skill that Amir has, it's a no-brainer. Now, does he go first round? Probably not, but maybe even second. Flip went second round. Central had David Young went second round. Jonathan Moore from Central. Those guys were second round picks back in the mid 2000s. So there is an opportunity for him to go pro, but we'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
Then Chris. What can you say about Chris Clemens? We've seen
him since Millbrook days. Man, shout out to Millbrook too. Millbrook High School.
Yeah.
Raleigh, North Carolina. Chris Clemens is the definition of heart over height, right?
Yeah.
They probably, what did they list him at? 5'9", 5'10"?
I think 5'9". I think that's being a little generous.
They gas it.
Chris, don't be mad if you hear this.
Don't matter.
It doesn't matter. Like you're still a pro, man. One thing about Chris, I think Chris he's gonna get you'll see him on the NBA Summer League roster this summer. I think you'll see him have that kind of like Junior Robinson impact like he had last summer. Yeah. Chris is a hard-nosed, strong-willed guard. Gets to any spot that he wants on the court. He can elevate over you. He can shoot over you. I think that the next thing for NBA guys want to see, can Chris create for others? Can he initiate an offense? That's the kind of things can he guard? Those are gonna be the type of things that NBA guys want to see from Chris. To score 2,500 points at any level is freaking ridiculous. So shout out to Chris and shout out to Amir. We did the interview with Chris Clemens down there at Campbell. So if you want to check that out, man, click the link below.
All right, man. So let's jump into the next topic. I'm sure we're gonna piss some people off with this one, but I'm cool with that. If you got a problem, you could always run up on me, have a conversation. I'm always down for a conversation. But we're gonna talk about the 5 best high school teams in North Carolina basketball. Oof. All right. So do we want to start with citing the source, or do we want to just?
How about we start? You say I'll say my 5, then you say your 5.
All right, well, you say your 5 first.
All right, so I'll go 5-1. Now, granted, this is my opinion, so don't get mad out here. I would say right now number 5. I would say Farmville Central is probably number 5 right now. Young nucleus with Jaquavion Smith and Justin Wright, one of the better backcourts in the state. Number 4. I'm probably going to go Cox Mill. I think Cox Mill has the best overall player in the state of North Carolina right now, Wendell Moore. Duke commit. He's having a great year. He just set the all-time Cabarrus County record for scoring. So shout out to Wendell. Number 3, they actually lost last night. Carmel Christian. Everything I've seen with Carmel Christian, D1s across the board. Shout out to Independence for a big win. That was a huge win. Anytime you see a public versus private a game goes like that, it always sparks that good old debate. Which
one is better? Yeah.
But yeah, I think Carmel overall may be the better team. But again, so number 2. I'm gonna go Millbrook number 2. Millbrook, they don't listen. One thing about Millbrook does not have that quote unquote guy. They don't have that Chris Clemens anymore, with Jordan Whitfield, any that big name player.
Right.
They have a bunch of guys to go get it. They're crushing teams. I think they're averaging over 85 points a game. Any team averaging over 85 points in a high school setting right now, they're crushing it. But my number 1, I'll probably piss Millbrook off when I say this. My number 1 is South Central. South Central probably has one of the best 1-2 punches in the state with Dayron Sharp and Shaquem Phillips. Jazier Baker is probably one of the most underrated kids in North Carolina right now.
Agreed.
I think just the way they play, they defend as a team. Everything they do is just amazing. So that's my 5.
All right. So I'm gonna go with you for 1 and 2.
Okay.
So 1 being South Central, 2 being Millbrook. And I will say I disagree with you on a little bit. Okay. I think Millbrook does have a star in Will Fenton. Now he's an undersized big man, but he gets it done. He's averaging a double-double right now, and I think he's not getting the publicity he deserves. He is getting a little bit here and there, but I think the kid is tough. Now, granted, he's no Chris Clemens, but that's just my subtle disagreement. For number 3, I will say I do like Farmville, so I'll give it to them. Number 4, Carmel Christian. And then number 5, throw a little haymaker in there, and Hillside Durham. All right, so we gave y'all our top 5. I'm pretty sure we're gonna piss some people off, but if you feel compelled to say something, make sure y'all comment below. We want to hear what y'all gotta say. If we're wrong, we definitely want to hear the compelling arguments. If not,
and don't
still comment.
Don't text me. Just put it in the comments. Don't text me. Comments below, please.
If you need a text ride, you can reach him at.
So next up, guys, we're going to present our player of the week here, presented by Underrated Culture. Underrated Culture is a line created by Mike Jenkins, a Kinston native that played at Winthrop, state champion. I have a couple times state champion. He's been playing professional ball ever since he graduated from Winthrop. So what we're doing every week, we're picking a kid that you haven't heard much about, and we're actually going to Mike's actually going to send that kid some apparel, some gear for being the underrated player of the week. And this week, the winner is Brock Williams from Burlington Christian School.
So if y'all didn't know nothing about Brock Williams, I mean, sub 6 foot guard, recently dropped 41 points, game-winning free throws against #1 junior and Isaiah Tide at Trinity O'Reilly. Make sure y'all click on that link. It's going to be right here. Make sure y'all check that out. But the kid is dope, man. And you know, again, Burlington School, they don't get a lot of love, so we here to give them love.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for today's show, man. Be sure to subscribe and hit the button below to subscribe here.
Hey, make sure y'all check back next Monday. We'll be introducing Phenom Ranking Tracker, Top Plays of the Week, Player of the Month, and we'll also be selecting viewer questions to read on air. For Rod Bridges and Ray Masonette, this is the New South News.
Bye.